Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you. Chapter 1, Section 2 of A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Second Golden Thread.
As.
Ah.
A Tale of Two Cities, Book the Second Golden Thread. Charles Dickens. Chapter 1, Section 2. Until he rose above the surface, with his spiky hair looking as if it must tear the sheets to ribbons. At which juncture, he exclaimed, in a voice of dire exasperation, "Bless me." A woman of orderly and industrious appearance rose from her knees in a corner, with sufficient haste and trepidation to show that she was the person referred to. "What," said Mr. Cruncher, looking out of bed for a boot. "You're at it again." After hailing the morn with the second salutation, he threw a boot at the woman as a third. It was a very muddy boot. I may introduce thought circumstance connected with Mr. Cruncher's domestic economy. That, whereas he often came home after banking hours with clean boots, he often got up next morning to find the same boots covered with clay. "What," said Mr. Cruncher, varying his apostrophe after missing his mark, "are you up to? Saying your praise? You're a nice woman. I was not praying against you. You weren't. And if you were, I won't be took the liberty with. Your mother's a nice woman. Andre, going a praying again your father's prosperity. You've got a dutiful mother. You have, my son. You've got a religious mother. You have, my boy." Going and flapping herself down, Master Cruncher, who was in his shirt, took this very ill, and then, turning to his mother, strongly deprecated any praying away of his personal board. "And what do you suppose, you conceited female," said Mr. Cruncher, with unconscious inconsistency, "that the worth of your prayers may be? They only come from the heart. Jerry." "Worth no more than that," repeated Mr. Cruncher. "They ain't worth much. Then, whether or no, I won't be prayed again. I tell you, I can't afford it. I'm not going to be made unlucky by your sneaking. If you must go flopping yourself down, flop in favour of your husband and child, and not in opposition to him. If I had had any but a Annette wife, and this poor boy had had any but Annette mother, religiously circumventing to the worst of luck. Be use me," said Mr. Cruncher, who all this time had been putting on his clothes. "If I ain't, what was piety and one blowed thing and another? A honest tradesman met with. Andre, dress yourself, my boy, and while I clean my bits, keep eye upon your mother now and then. And if you see any signs of more flopping, give me a call. For, I tell you," here he addressed his wife once more, "I won't be gum again. In this manner, I am as rickety as a hackney coach. I'm as sleepy as laudanum. My lines is strained to that degree that I shouldn't know. If it wasn't for the pain in him, which was me and which somebody else, Yet I'm none the better for it in pocket. Me from being the better for it in pocket. And I won't put up with it. I wrote her. Growling. In additions. Such phrases as S. Irreligious. The. You wouldn't put yourself in opposition to the interests of your husband and child. Would you? Not you. And throwing off other sarcastic sparks from the willing grindstone of his indignation. Wister. Cruncher betook himself to his boot cleaning and his general preparation for business. In the meantime, his son, whose head was garnished with tender spikes, and whose young eyes stood close by one another, as his father's did, kept the required watch upon his mother. He greatly disturbed that poor woman at intervals, by darting out of his sleeping closet, where he made his toilet, with the suppressed cry of "You are going to flop." Father. Hello. Father. And Lynn. After raising this fictitious alarm, darting in again with an undutiful grin. Wister. Crunch's temper was not at all improved when he came to his breakfast. He resented my Crunch's saying grace with particular animosity. And I your waiter. Are you up to? Don't do it, said Mr. Crunch is looking about wise petitions. I ain't going to be blessed. Out of house and home, I would have my wibbles blessed off my table. Exceedingly red-eyed and grim, anything but a convivial turned Jerry Cruncher. Worried his breakfast rather than ate it, curling over it like any forfeited inmate of a menagerie. He smoothed his ruffled aspect, and as he could overlay his natural self with the day, it could scarcely be called a trade description of himself as an honest tradesman. His stock consisted of a wooden stool made out of a broken back chair cut down which stool. And Jerry, walking at his father's side, was nearest Temple Bar, where from the odd job man's feet it formed the encampment for the day. Post of his Mr. Temple as the bar itself, and was almost as in looking 9 as they passed into Tilson's. March morning, with young Jerry standing by him, phrased through the bar. On passing boys who were small enough for his amiable purpose, father and son, extremely like each other, looking silently on at the morning. Traffic in Fleet Street, each bore a considerable resemblance to a pair of onkeys, was not lessened by the accidental circumstance at straw of him, as of everything else in Fleet Street. Indoor messengers attached to Tolson's establishment was put through. The door was going. Hooray, father. I've been discovering. His parent Godspeed, Jerry seated himself on the stool his father had been chewing and cogitated. Always rusty, muttered young Jerry. Where does my father get all that iron rust from? To be continued.